we are back with another VA Snapshot episode of the Ridiculously Good VA Show, where we talk about the specific services that VAs can offer different target markets. Choosing a target market helps you learn about what they do in their business, how they find their clients, how they work with their clients, and what kinds of things they actually need help with in the day-to-day running of their business. After learning the ins and outs of what they do, you can speak much more clearly about how you can support them with your services. Why is this so essential? Because when you truly understand how their business runs, you truly understand how you can help them keeping it running smoothly and growing. That's the key to working with the target market, that you find large groups of clients that all need the same services and support, and it makes getting lots of great clients so much easier. I'm Tracy Daviero, a virtual assistant coach and trainer, and in this series, we're going to dive into 20 or 30 different industries and professions that use virtual assistants, and I'll share what kinds of tasks you can do for them. Then you just need to decide who you can best support and start connecting with them. We are talking today about business coaches. That was my niche way back in the day whenever I was working solely as a virtual assistant. And there are lots and lots of business coaches out there who need the help from virtual assistants. Lots of them are already using them. So let's think for a minute about why a business coach should be concerned about using a virtual assistant in their business. Just a little few benefits that maybe they will receive by working with somebody on contract like us. Cost effectiveness. Naturally, when we are working with any of our clients, it's cost effective. They don't have to hire a full-time employee. They don't have to, pay for benefits and salaries and all those kinds of things. They basically pay for the time that you are doing the work for them. Increased productivity is another huge benefit because they are delegating the things that they need to get done in their business, but really aren't a good use of their time, right? So they can focus on high value activities. I like to call these revenue generating ones. Why? Because when they make money, that's when their business starts to grow and be successful. And so it is really important if they're focusing their energy on things like that, getting new clients, revising their service offerings and that kind of thing. And of course, customer acquisition, really, really important to be able to get more done through the use of a VA as opposed to them doing all of the things in their business and probably carving out a lot less time for bringing in new clients than they should be or than they'd like to. Flexibility obviously is a huge thing. Working hours and availability, we work on our own schedule. And so again, we're allowing them more time in their day because we can get things done possibly simultaneously at the same time as they are doing things as well. So I think it's important. And of course, many of us VAs are voracious learners. I know I love to learn still. And so we're always kind of expanding our service offerings and the things that we know how to do. And that comes to another benefit, which is access to specialized skills. I think it's really important to know that some of the things that we do are specialized and we are constantly getting training for, and keeping on top of trends that are happening in marketing and or in customer service or graphics tech, anything like that, social media, another one. Really, really important to know that we are keeping on top of those things so that they don't have to, right? And just about everything we do saves our our clients time. And I think that that's always an important thing to talk about, but I think we really want to be clear on the fact that we are giving them more time, maybe a little bit less than saving them time. And I always try to talk about it in that way because if they're not doing things currently in their business that they should be doing, like some marketing, like some, follow up, like client retention, all of those kinds of things, then we can actually give them that time into their calendar by doing those things for them. Not so much saving it if they're not doing it on their own. So just a little bit of a tweak on the language behind that. So those are some reasons that a business coach should be working with a virtual assistant. And of course, we know that we are very capable of helping them with a lot of different things in their business. But I want to talk about some specifics because each target market that we talk about has specific needs. And some of them are the same as other markets. But when you can speak really clearly to a business coach and say, this is what I can help you with, and they know that that's very relevant to their business, that's a conversation that's going to really open up, and you're going to be able to have a lot more conversation about what it is that they need, not just trying to sell them something that you think they need, but what they really place value on. I always say, your clients are going to pay for what they place value on, and sometimes it's not what we think it is. So we can do things like administrative tasks for them. Of course, email management and calendar management. These are really, really big things in the coaching industry because lots of coaches are coming into contact with a lot of different people, and they are going to be, coming into their business as clients, but also probably as contacts, maybe from events that they attend or host. And so there could be quite a few of these people coming in all the time. And of course, with coaching, scheduling appointments is very important because we have to keep their calendar flowing and their calendar full of potential new customers as well. Client onboarding, always very important. I know whenever I was working with my business coaches, we had a beautiful onboarding process, and that didn't have to go through the coach. It was something that I could do, and I sort of filled in the gap to make sure that we got all the contracts signed and we got the money taken care of, and then we got the appointments and we'd follow up and any questions. There was an awful lot of I call it client care involved in coaching because it's a one-to-one service or a group service in a lot of cases. And so onboarding is a really important part of that, managing the expectations of the clients. I know that for me, I worked with 6 and 7 figure business coaches. And so the expectations were high. The clients were spending a lot of money to work with the coaches. And it was really important that that was seamless. So we can manage that for them as well. Marketing support is always something that we can really talk about. It's very important for, to do some social media, maybe some content creation. I'm not particularly creative, I guess I'd say. So I often left the creation part to my clients. I can do the words, I can do lots of writing, but in terms of graphics and that kind of thing, sometimes we outsource that piece. But it is a really important part. Of course, visual social media and visual marketing things are really important as well. So sometimes that's something that we can offer them as well. Email campaign creation, list management, tracking, seeing who's opening what, all of those kinds of things, very important. Marketing is such an important thing to do when you have a service-based business, as we know as VAs, and our coaches, our business coaches are the same. They are offering a service-based business, right? Or they're operating a service-based business. It's really important for them to do marketing that is consistent and that speaks to their clients as well. Client support, I've talked about already. I think that communication and especially inquiries is something that we can definitely help them with. Financial tasks, invoicing, collecting the payments. If you have a system that does that, just tracking them. That was something that we did quite often, was we had a tracking sheet so that we knew what was supposed to come in, and then we verified that it came in. A lot of recurring payments and that kind of thing, right? Tech assistance, you don't need to be a tech whiz to help a business coach with their website and the softwares that they're using and that kind of thing. Typically what it is a lot of website maintenance, right? Publishing blog posts, event calendars, that kind of thing, making sure that the information that people are going to find on their website is up to date, and, scheduling tools if they use a coaching platform, something like that. There are lots of different things that we can do that are not really, really heavily technical, but they need to be done. And again, not always a good use of the coach's time. And so it's something that we can definitely talk to them about. Event coordination, as I mentioned right off the top, lots of business coaches will either host events or they will attend events to network with people and get clients. And I think that that's another thing that is really important to talk about. Ask people, where do you get your clients from? And if that includes events, maybe that's, some things that you can help them organize, workshops, webinars, anything like that. There's a lot of digital stuff that happens nowadays as opposed to in-person events, but certainly that's something that you can have a conversation with. And travel arrangements, personal stuff, there's, all of those other kinds of things. I think I've given you a lot of things to consider. There's certainly some very specific things that business coaches will work with. Like I say, if they're trainers as well, they may have an online course or a website where they keep their training for people, those types of things as well, and all of the support materials that go with it, right? So I hope I've given you a few ideas of what business coaches need. And if you have any of those skills and you want to start putting together something that looks good for business coaches, that's a great idea. And then all you have to do is start to connect with them. I will tell you that business coaches are aplenty online. There are so many of them, and often the bigger ones often have, big teams. They have more than one person. It's not just a one-to-one situation where it's just you working with them. So they're familiar with VAs. I think it's a great market to go after. Obviously, like I said, I built a great VA business working with them myself, so I highly recommend them. And the other little caveat, which is pretty cool, is you get to learn from them too. And I think that that is something that virtual assistants always like to do. I always say when you're choosing a target market, consider what it is they do or the end result that they, get with their clients, the transformation that they give their clients. If that's something that you feel good about, or if that's something that you're really interested in, then that was really one of the reasons that I worked with business coaches mostly. I totally think that that should be in your list of perhaps I should pursue this target market. So I'm going to leave it there for today, and I would love to hear your comments and feedback. So let me know what you think, and let me know if you are working with business coaches. Would love to hear that. That's all I've got for you today. I'll see you next time. Thanks for tuning in to this snapshot from the Ridiculously Good VA show. Now it's your turn to choose your market and get out there to connect with them. Let them know that you understand their business and that you are the best VA to help them with their business needs. You are awesome. You can do it. Now get out there and get some clients.